I know I told y'all that I was never gonna make dragon's beard candy again, but I tried this new way to do it a while ago, and y'all, it is so easy. So I'm gonna show y'all the easiest way to make dragon's beard candy. First things first, you wanna take some HiChews, open them, and put them in a bowl. Once you get a bunch of HiChews, you wanna put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Oh. Okay, now you wanna get it out. You want to take all of the HiChews and kind of mush them together till it becomes a plop. Once you get it to a plop, you want to take your can of cornstarch and put it out on a pan. Okay, now take the plop out and then roll it into a little ball. Once you get it to a little ball, you want to poke a little hole in it like it's a donut. And then slowly start stretching it. One of the best parts of this recipe is you can play with it and it doesn't get hard. See how it's not stiffening and it's still stretchy and soft? It is so easy. Look how many freaking strands I got. Let's take a little bite. This could have some crunch to it because I still have some fiberglass in my finger. This is so good.
I have to wonder about this guy's delivery, but I'm going to try it. I have a zillion HiChews because we buy them at Costco. My kids love them. So we are going to try this dragon's beard candy recipe made out of HiChews. This is not real dragon's beard. This is pretend dragon's beard and should be treated as a fake recipe. I was hoping this could be another recipe to make with my kids, but my daughter lost interest very quickly. While my candy was cooking for 30 seconds in the microwave, I prepped a tray with cornstarch. It turns out the 30 seconds was way too long for this small amount of HiChews, and I melted them completely, so we cooked my daughter's for a lot less. You can see that hers is smooth and nice, and mine is kind of hard and weird. Once we got them out onto the cornstarch, we started stretching it, and mine just had a bad texture. It wasn't soft or stretchy, and so it broke easily. I abandoned it very quickly and tried to help my daughter with hers. Hers was much better. You see how I'm not putting it in the cornstarch? That is a mistake. You should keep it in the cornstarch the whole time you're stretching it. We finally gave up and just snacked on what we had done. Time for attempt number 2. I tried a lot more candy this time and melted those off screen. And once again, I couldn't get it quite right as I was stretching it. Mainly because, again, I wasn't putting it in the cornstarch. So while I was doubling it and getting lots of thin strands, because I wasn't putting the cornstarch into the mix, those strands all stick together, so it just turned into taffy. My daughter cut it in half so we could enjoy some tough taffy bacon. Kinda worked, kinda didn't. I think I should have used more cornstarch the whole way through. It just seems to have taffified in a different way. Attempt number 3. This time I didn't want it sticking to the bowl, so I used a piece of parchment paper. Then I used that parchment paper to squish up the glob of candy. I am not calling it a plop, and that definitely worked. I got every bit of it off the paper. I also used a lot more cornstarch. This was the best attempt I had done so far. It was nice and soft and stretchy, and I made sure to dip it in the cornstarch or dip my hands in the cornstarch with every go-round. But this is where it went wrong. Stretching it made a break, and after that, everything just fell apart, as you were about to see. So no more loops, but I did stretch it into a rope, and leaving some clumps at the end, but mostly this time it went really well. It never got to the fine hair consistency that dragon's beard candy should have, but it definitely got to like ramen noodle thinness, so I was mostly pleased with it. Fold and stretch and fold over and over and over. I said this isn't really getting any thinner, so this is my final product. You can see it's really thin. And finally it was time to taste test it. I guess this is what it's supposed to look like. It's kind of the consistency of Big League Chew, if you remember that old bubble gum. Kind of powdery, very, very chewy. Much chewier than a regular HiChew. Truth be told, I would rather eat a plain HiChew. You all remember in 6th grade science class when we made oobleck? Well, I didn't want to make that in my drain. Do not skip this step. But if you want to know what this tastes like, take a HiChew and just dip it in your cornstarch. Basically the same experience. Not worth it for candy that looks like shredded chicken.
It's so far so hard. Did it die?
My handle did.